I'm David from Levika Photography, and today we bring you a crappy light. I mean, Craphy. It's Craphy. Seriously, it actually, this doesn't say it, but the light does. Anyway, this is actually kind of a cool little light. This comes in two different variants. This is the all daylight light, and they do make one that changes from daylight to kind of an incandescent bulb warm light. Now with this one you get two diffusers, and this gets one soft diffuser that pops on there, and then you've got one warm diffuser in case you want to use warm light. Now one thing that I do like about this is when you turn it on, okay, so let me turn this down to 10. So the beauty of this is it actually uses all 308 LEDs. So to control the brightness you just crank it up, and it has a good gauge on the back. And so let me just show you what that looks like. So this is your back screen. Now what this does have going for it is it has a DC power port, and it obviously tells you what brightness setting you're at when you want to crank it up. Now the problem with this really isn't a problem, it's just something that's kind of strange. When you take a battery and you stick it on there, you pop it on, the light blinks, which is very strange. I don't know why it does that. It just does that. And the light technically right now is off. So in order to turn it on, you hold down the power button until it comes on. And then this allows you to change your power. Now the one thing that this light is missing is a battery indicator. That's the only thing I really wish it had. But realistically, when you compare this to the last LED panels that we just reviewed, the Per Gear, the advantage that this light has over this one is when this one is on, let me just turn it on for you, when we cycle between lights, you'll see this only uses half the LEDs. So when you park it in the middle, that's when you can actually use all the LEDs, but you're using mixed light. With this one you're using all the LEDs, but it's at full power. So this is pretty much what I prefer because it gives you a brighter light. And the fact that this thing is only 50 bucks makes it that much better. But realistically, the light quality from this, I want to say, is somewhere around CR 85 to 90. This light is CR 95. So let me go ahead and turn this around. I'm going to mount this on a light stand, and we're actually going to look at the quality output compared to the two. Alright, so now I've got both of these on at full power. So the Per Gear is a much cleaner white light, whereas this one, even though it doesn't have anything on it, it's just the LEDs, it has just a tiny bit of warmness to it. This really isn't a big deal, but you can't mix LEDs when you're shooting. You'll actually see different wavelengths of light in it. So these two don't work well together, but if I had a couple of these, and let me turn this all the way up here, if I had a couple of these, then it would actually be a good combination because you want the lights to match. But anyway, overall, I do like this light. I actually used it in a couple of videos. We've had this thing bouncing around the studio now for about a month, and we've used it quite a bit, and it does seem to be pretty reliable. So that is kind of the beauty of it. And the simplicity of design. The only thing that's kind of a bummer, aperture lights, these have one cool feature where you can pull the hot shoe off and mount it vertically. Unfortunately, this doesn't do that, so you'll have to use an elbow bracket to be able to put it on a light stand and turn it vertically. But what this thing is very light. So the battery on here is the most heavy thing on it. But running around this thing with the OMD EM1 Mark II with this mounted on the top for video, this actually doesn't screw up the balance because it's a really light light. And that is with that 4-cell battery. And these are the standard Sony NP F970 batteries is technically what they are. But these are just the generic versions that I've used on all my lights. Now, this particular light is also CR rated at somewhere around 85. And these are not close to each other. This one is really green compared to this one, so I don't know if this one was just made wrong. So this is a light that we actually never use, just kind of sits. But it has the same issue where it goes through the colors. You can go from cool to warm, but again, it only uses half the LEDs. Now, in my last video on the Apple light, one thing that I told you guys about was how to figure out the power of an LED. Because if you go online and you start looking at the different lights out there, one thing that you're going to realize, let me turn this all the way down. If you go out there and you're looking at different LEDs and you're trying to figure out which one to buy, one thing that you'll realize is that all of these lights that are in front of me, this one, this one, this one, they all use the same style LEDs. Even my bigger light LED light panels, they all use the exact same LEDs. So each LED actually puts out 9 lumens. So this is a very easy way to figure it out. 308 LEDs equals 2,700 lumens. 216, that has an air switch, by the way. 216 LEDs basically equals 1,800 lumens, a little bit more than that. And then this one is 198, so also about 1,800. These are just slightly brighter because this is 216, this is 198. But at 300, this thing has really good light output. So for 50 bucks, you really can't go wrong. Now, just to give you an idea, go ahead and throw the switch on that one, turn it off. Now we have my overhead light, but I'll back up here. And let me set that right there. So now you're looking at me with this light with the single diffuser on it, you know, kind of turned down to about 1/4 power. And this is the kind of light output that it has. How do I look? Do I look good? All right, well anyway, this is what I look like with this light turned on me for video. So, you know, it can be kind of overpowering if you're really close to it, but when you're farther away, really it's actually pretty good. And just to give you an idea, let me turn this all the way down. All right, so there. This is at 1/10 of its full power. And, you know, I think this is actually a very clean video light. There's nothing wrong with it. But the thing is, we use these style of LED lights for product photography, so we have to have accurate colors, so it has to match. But realistically, I think I'm actually going to order another one of these. That way we can see how well they work together and how durable they actually are. But like I said, I've had this thing for a month. It's been bouncing around the car. We've used it quite a bit. Seems to be good. Even used it as a work light when the sewer main went out at my house. So yeah, it held up for a solid 8 hours of continuous on without overheating. So I thought that was actually pretty good. Anyway, I hope you guys like this video. Give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, otherwise we'll talk to you guys later. See ya.